Hello, Taurus. This is Carrie from Celestial Forecasts with your last bonus reading of 2019. Thank you so much for being here and for tuning in. And this is a general reading, as always, Taurus. It's not going to resonate with every single person tuning in. Please do take from this reading what makes sense for you, your life, your situation, your relationship, and let go of the rest. If you are interested in your own personal private reading, Taurus, all of that information is down below in the description box. I'd love to be able to do a reading for you if that's something that you're interested in. I will also have a list of all of the card decks that I use for my readings. All right, guys? So let's get started. What I have for you, Taurus, are 3 card decks that I wanted to focus on for the beginning of this reading. This is a brand new deck for me. It's called the Illumination deck, created by Lightworker, Tarot, and Oracle. We'll grab a couple focus messages from that. We'll also grab a couple of cards from the Barbieri zodiac deck, and this is going to focus on signs that might be of significance in your life, either now or moving towards the new year. And then we'll grab an additional focus message from the Moonology card deck. So let me set these guys aside and let's start off with that Illumination deck to see, Taurus, literally what needs to be illuminated in your life. Possibly elements of your life at the moment that might be in the dark. Perhaps you need a little bit of assistance to see things more clearly or to have a better understanding of what's going on in your life. So let's take a look at that. Angels and spirit guides for Taurus, please. Let's grab this one here. Disconnect and relax. That's a very interesting message. And sometimes you do need to disconnect from the world, whatever is stressing you out, especially during this holiday season. Some people find that they're a little bit overwhelmed with life. And if you feel, Taurus, that you need to disconnect and just have a little bit of peace and quiet and some time to yourself, perhaps that's what you're needing at this time. Let's grab one more. Chained to circumstances. This came through for one of my other signs. I don't recall which one, but this did come through from one of the other bonus readings. And basically, if you do feel that you are trapped in a situation, you are chained to a particular person, a relationship, whatever this circumstance is that is literally it's tying you down and you're unable to either create progress in your life or create movement to get away from that. So let's see how that is addressed for this reading, Taurus. You know, we're coming up to the end of 2019, and if you can find freedom in your life over things that have chained you down to it, then it's time to break free from it, possibly. Okay, so let's take a look and see if it'll reveal a little bit more as to what that is pertaining to. Let's grab some cards from the Barbieri zodiac and let's see what signs are of significance to you, or these are people that you might end up connecting with in 2020. Let's take a look at these signs or elements. We've got water coming through, so that's Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. If you are thinking of any of those signs, Taurus, for this reading, it's picking up off of that certainly, or these are people that you might connect with that could bring something into your life that will actually make you happy, possibly. So let's see what else. Pisces, okay, a water sign represented already through that card. So very heavy Pisces representation here. This person could be a part of your life already, Taurus. Perhaps they are there to help you in some way, shape, or form. It's trying to tell you something. You know, water signs and Pisces, very significant for some of my Tauruses. So take that for how it's making sense for you. Okay, so let's grab an additional focus message from the Moonology card deck for you, Taurus. And let's see what else needs to come through here to start off this reading. Angels and spirit guides for Taurus, please. Let's grab this one. Ooh, a new romantic cycle begins. This is the new moon in Libra. What a beautiful card. So let's set that aside and let's take a look and see if there's a new love that's actually coming in for you, Taurus. Okay, so let's take a look at that. It could be a Libra. So something to keep in mind. All right, guys, let's get started with some Mystic Moon oracles. And let's see where the rest of this reading will take you. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Taurus. Okay, we've got 2 cards flying out, and I wasn't even ready, but we'll grab them. They flew out. Fifth dimension and forgiveness. So some of you guys are connecting with somebody in the 5D, and this person might be wanting to apologize to you, or it's possibly you, Taurus, that needs to apologize to them. That's interesting. I wasn't even done shuffling, and those 2 cards literally flew out, so we will accept that. Wow. Okay, for Taurus. Let's take a look and see what else needs to come through for you. But those 2 cards wanted to be heard here. Angels and spirit guides for Taurus. What else do we need to know? Who needs forgiveness here? Look at that. Commitment. Perhaps this person was unable to commit to you the way you've been wanting, Taurus. And if you guys are in separation and they've had time to think, you know, it's interesting with that disconnect and relax. Sometimes when we remove ourselves from a situation that's stressing us out, it really does give you a lot of time to just sit down with yourself and think, possibly come up with a different plan, or to be able to interpret what happened between you and this other person. Maybe they're ready to commit to you now and they weren't before. We do have inner child represented here. Whenever this card comes through, I typically do tap into divine feminine energy, simply because there is a little girl in that photo, but of course it does not have to be. You know, it is just energy that I am picking up off of, so it could certainly be male or female. Inner child is representative of somebody who may have had a difficult childhood or a painful memory from when you were younger. This could either be you, Taurus. This could be the person that you are focused on for this reading. And this is telling me that that needs healing. Possibly forgiveness from somebody is what would bring about healing for this energy, whoever is going through that. And if it's you, Taurus, it's coming through here because you either haven't dealt with it, or it's starting to surface here because it wants you to address it once and for all. And if this is what you've been chained to, if that's making sense for you, then that needs to be cleared. You need to address it and reclaim your freedom and go in a different direction and move on from it and learn from it. But I do have a feeling for some of my Tauruses, you haven't been able to do the work on yourself to create enough progress in your life. We do have that stuck card coming through right after that. And if you're feeling stuck somehow, Taurus, it's definitely being represented through that card, of course. But what I'm also feeling here is if you could just take a step back from situations and challenges that are overwhelming you right now, you'll be able to see a clearer plan of what it is that you need to do, what it is that you need to implement in your life to get unstuck. Balancing the scales is coming forward as well. I do tap into the Justice card in traditional tarot from this card. Cause and effect, the need for clarity, the need for the truth. And if you're feeling out of balance at this time, Taurus, it could be picking up off of that as well. That's also actually, and it's very interesting that the Justice card is Libra energy. And that focus card from the Moonology deck, it does say a new romantic cycle begins, and it is the new moon in Libra. So for some of my Tauruses, a new love interest might actually come in for you, and this person could certainly be a Libra. It could be a water sign, and more significantly, it could be a Pisces as well. So that's just something to keep in mind. We do have the nostalgia card coming through here. And for those of you who are in separation, it's falling right below that fifth dimension. That's where you guys are connecting. You guys are still thinking about each other here. There are still feelings and emotions that are intertwined in this energy between you and this person, Taurus. Understanding, falling right below forgiveness. Perhaps this person really needs you to understand where they're coming from now. Divine feminine energy is what I usually pick up off of this card. Grief. And again, it doesn't have to be female. It could be male or female, but I do tap into divine feminine energy from that. So I feel here that the divine masculine, whoever is resonating with divine masculine energy for this reading, they were unable to commit to the divine feminine here, and it broke the divine feminine's heart. I gravitate towards interpreting this card as the Three of Swords. Threes in tarot are all about communication, and the Three of Swords is somebody who's heartbroken over a separation. It is tapping into grief. It's a very heavy energy. It's very painful. It's heavy. Compromise comes right after that. Perhaps that's what was lacking between you and this person, Taurus, and that there is a need for it. Next card is surrender, letting things go. Sometimes when we surrender, we are allowing the universe to work on our behalf because we're not so tied down to a particular outcome. We are loosening the reins a little bit to allow life to happen and just allow it to unfold the way it is meant to. And for my Tauruses, if you've surrendered yourself to some aspect of your life, whether that is in regard to a love connection, challenges that you're going through right now, family matters, health issues, money matters, finances, whatever it is, whatever the obstacle is, sometimes you need to just throw up your hands and just surrender and just allow life to unfold the way it is meant to. Let the universe work on your behalf, especially if you tend to self-sabotage, or if you get in your own way sometimes, or if you don't believe that you can manifest all of these dreams and goals that you have for yourself. For some of my Tauruses, I do pick up that sometimes you start something and you're completely passionate about whatever that idea is or whatever situation you're focused on, and then it loses steam and you end up not following through. And that creates that stuck energy for you. It also creates imbalance in your life. You have the power within you, Taurus, to make these changes for yourself. And again, going back to that first focus card, disconnect and relax. If you're being pulled in too many directions at this time, Taurus, sometimes you need to just take a break or just take a step back to reassess and reevaluate where your life is so that you can figure out a better plan for yourself if that's what you're needing. And if part of this energy from that chain to circumstances has something to do with your love life, especially if you know that that connection is toxic or it's just not good for you, but you still keep hanging around or you're still holding on to something that you know you need to let go of. And that as well is contributing to that stuck energy. Let it go and look what's coming in for you. Something new. Something that could actually fulfill you and make you happy. We're heading into a new year here. Make it a great one, Taurus. You deserve it. We do have abandoned coming through as well. You either want to abandon a situation or somebody abandoned you, and that brought you out of balance in your life. For some of you, it's a divine masculine that left you out in the cold, possibly. But you still care for this person, you're still thinking about them, We've got that nostalgia card coming through there. And for some of you, part of the separation here, this person was able to figure out and come to a better understanding of what they did. And they're remorseful and they want to apologize. They want your forgiveness. So it really depends, Taurus, if you can find it in your heart to forgive this person who hurt you. Let's go ahead and add some tarot to this. Twin Flame Journey Tarot by Mystic Moon. Angels and spirit guides for Taurus, please. What else do we need to know for Taurus at this time for this bonus reading? And I forgot to mention that it is timeless, so whenever you're guided to tune in and watch this reading, Taurus, and this could also be for cross watchers or anybody really who's been guided to tune in and benefit from the messages that come through here today. All right, let's add some tarot to this, Taurus. Let's take a look and see what else needs to come through here. Angels and spirit guides for Taurus, please. What else do we need to know? Flying out the deck, Two of Wands. We've got fire energy here. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, planning and decisions. Okay, so this is actually a really good card because I do feel, Taurus, that you need to make better decisions for yourself. You need to have a stronger plan as to what it is that you're wanting to manifest moving forward in your life. I feel that you have had your fair share of mistakes and bad decisions that you've made for yourself. Perhaps you're in the process of learning what it is that you need to learn lesson-wise and to not have to repeat those mistakes from the past, especially. I feel for some of my Tauruses, and I'm just saying this just intuitively, I feel 2019 for some of you has really been a struggle. And part of that struggle has to do with bad decisions that you have made. You can change that, Taurus. All you need to do is create a better plan for yourself, better planning to create a better future, a better 2020 for you. You don't have to repeat the patterns that created obstacles for you this year. You can change the direction that you're going. You don't have to be stuck, and you don't have to be chained to a circumstance. You have your own free will. You have freedom to create movement in your own life. But if you're allowing a person or a situation, a toxic connection, if you're allowing those things to prevent you from moving forward in your life, Taurus, then that's stopping the movement that you can actually create for yourself. Because the Two of Wands is all about progress. Some of you guys may have decided to leave home to see what the world has to offer, away from the safety net of your family or your home, and that's absolutely fine. But if it's not working out for you, then perhaps you need to reevaluate some of the decisions that you have made. And sometimes it's those very ideas that you need to walk away from and abandon them if it's not working. Don't let your pride get in the way of admitting that you made a bad choice. You've got the Six of Pentacles coming through here. That's Earth energy. Virgo, Capricorn, and your very own energy, Taurus. Right here. This is all about equality. The Six of Pentacles is somebody who's very giving, somebody who's very generous. And I do feel that that's you. It could also be somebody that you're thinking about for this reading. And sometimes, let me backtrack. Being a giving person is fantastic. It's a beautiful thing. But when you give too much to where you are in that sinking ship and you don't have enough to give to yourself, that's not helping you, Taurus. There has to be an equal exchange here. And that's what I'm feeling here for you, Taurus, that sometimes you overextend yourself and you give so much to people, and sometimes they don't deserve it. Especially if you are in a toxic connection with someone and they're just taking advantage of your very giving nature. Don't forget to give to yourself. It reminds me of when, and this is just an example, of course, if a plane is in distress and those oxygen masks come down, you got to give yourself oxygen first before you can help somebody else. And that's what I'm picking up from that. We got the Two of Pentacles, so we have more earth energy, more of your own energy, of course, Taurus. Virgo and Capricorn might play a significant part in your life as well. That's for some of you guys. And we had the Balancing the Scales card, and now we've got a balancing act that is needed here. So this is telling us, Taurus, that for some of you, you've been juggling things for so long that you're starting to lose balance in your life. You can only maintain that balancing act for so long. And I can't help but feel for my Tauruses that you're tired. You're tired of having to balance things in your life. And I feel like you're carrying other people's burdens on your shoulders. It's just more than you can handle, because you're carrying your own burdens and then you're carrying somebody else's burdens. That is what I'm feeling here. This is what you are headed for, Taurus, a painful ending of some sort. That is the Ten of Swords. So that's air energy. Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. A painful ending is what's represented by that card. It's either already happened or it's about to. But sometimes, something has to come to an end in order for you to find your freedom elsewhere, however painful that ending is, especially if you are resisting that end. If it has anything to do with a relationship that has run its course, but you're still hanging in there. I feel here, Taurus, that you're holding on to somebody that isn't worth holding on to. And the moment you come to that decision that you deserve better, that you need to surrender, that you need to let go, you're going to get unstuck. Things are going to be balanced in your life. You got to be there for yourself first before you can be there for somebody else. You can't force somebody to stick around if they don't want to stick around. And the longer you fail to realize that, Taurus, and I realize this is so specific, I have no idea where this is coming from, but I'm feeling it. You can't resist something from coming to an end when it's meant to end. Because you are standing in the own way of progress in your own life, Taurus. It's almost like you put up your own obstacles. You can actually go around those obstacles to avoid them. But what I'm feeling for some of my Tauruses is that you create them. And you don't have to. Look at this next card. We've got the Nine of Cups. Cups is water energy. Water is right here. Pisces is right here. I do feel, Taurus, that it could be a water sign. This is the person that's meant to come in for you and bring you the satisfaction that you are looking for in your life. Because right now I feel it's missing. And look at this card. It does say wish fulfillment. They have the potential to make your wishes come true. If you are in a toxic connection, if you are in a relationship that has run its course but you're still sticking around, and I believe this came through before, it's still coming through because you're still there. Get yourself unstuck. Get rid of those chains that are tying you down. Nobody has the power to tie you down unless you give it to them. Okay? We've got the Four of Pentacles, so more of your own energy, as well as Capricorn and Virgo. Scarcity mindset. It's looking at that glass half empty instead of half full. It's all in your perspective, Taurus. It's time to change that perspective. Because the Four of Pentacles has the potential to stabilize things in your life. It can give you the security that I feel is lacking right now. But you can't stand in your own way. You can create movement in your life. You don't have to be stuck. You don't have to be putting up with anyone else's bullshit. You don't have to look at that glass half empty. You're actually blessed to have something in that cup, but you don't see it. Open up your eyes and see things from a different perspective, Taurus. Whether that's got anything to do with your love life, whether that's got something to do with some other aspect of your life that is just not working for you. And it's different for every person tuning in here. And I'm just feeling this heavy energy for my Tauruses. And that heaviness can be lifted at any time. As long as you stop carrying other people's burdens on your shoulders. It's not your problem. You got your own problems, don't get me wrong. I know you've got stuff going on with you and you alone. But I feel for some of you guys resonating with this, on top of your own issues, you're adding this other person's issues on top of that, and you're making their problems your problems. It's not yours. They can have it. They got their own drama. You got your own stuff you got to handle. So handle it. Handle you. You don't have to handle things for the other person. Let them handle themselves. Let them handle their own business. If money's been an issue, financial struggles, you can fix that. We've got the Temperance card here. Restoration. This is what you need at this time. That is Sagittarius energy, Taurus. This is giving you the balance that you need finally. Enough with the balancing act, enough of being out of balance. The Temperance will bring you back into balance if you allow it, because it'll give you back the harmony that you need in your life. And I feel you need healing on the inside as well as on the outside. But you got to be patient. That's a part of the Temperance card. You got to be patient. And for some of my Tauruses, sometimes you're not patient. So you got to try. You really have to try your damnedest to just wait this thing out, because it's going to change. For some of you who are feeling nostalgic about somebody by way of a romantic connection, you guys are not together. You're connecting in the fifth dimension. You miss them. Somebody needs forgiveness. Somebody wants to offer an apology. They could have been bad at commitment before, but perhaps, again, they're ready to commit to you now, or perhaps, Taurus, you're ready to commit to them, however way that's playing itself out. The Temperance card does represent a reconciliation here. Now, this reconciliation doesn't just have to be romantic in nature. For those of you who have distanced yourself from family, from friends, you can reconcile that as well. You can reconcile that as well. We have the Page of Wands coming through here, so we've got more fire energy. This is a page that is bringing forward some exciting news. You might actually hear some good news for a change, Taurus. People that you've possibly distanced yourself from. And isn't it interesting that in the photo there's fireworks in the background? I mean, we're heading into New Year. The new year, fireworks, celebrations. So 2020 might start off really good for you, Taurus. Something exciting finally that's coming in to your life. We have the Knight of Swords right after that. Air energy. We also have the King of Swords. So for some of you guys, the person that you are thinking about for this reading is an air sign. Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. And remember, a new romantic cycle begins. That is the new moon in Libra. So I feel for some of you, especially if you're open to finding love elsewhere, barring, of course, that you've walked away from a toxic connection or even a karmic partner, somebody that you know is not good for you, Taurus. You might end up meeting somebody else. It could be an air sign here. This King of Swords is somebody who is very intellectual, quick wit, very smart, loves a good conversation. Once they decide to approach you, Taurus, and they know that they want you, hopefully you'll be ready to be able to accept this person into your life. Allow that romantic cycle to come in for you. We've got the Five of Pentacles, so more of your own energy, isolated and alone. And I do feel for some of my Tauruses, this is where you're at the moment. Kind of being a loner right now. You've isolated yourself from the people that matter the most to you. Not wanting to engage or interact. I mean, it is the holiday season, but I do feel some of my Tauruses, you're not in very much of a partying mood. I'm not feeling that here. But remember, you have the power within you to shift your energies. And if you are in this space of the Five of Pentacles because somebody put you there, because you are chained to that person, you can break free from that. You can remove those chains at any time, Taurus. We have a second reference of nostalgia. This is the Six of Cups. It already came through earlier with that card. So there's definitely somebody thinking about you, Taurus, somebody that you are at a distance from, somebody from your past. It could be someone from your childhood as well. Somebody that you haven't seen in a long time, and you could have been romantically interested in this person, because this is all about memories and reunions. And look at here. We've got the Ten of Wands, heavy burdens. And the reason why it's so heavy is because you're carrying your burdens as well as somebody else. And again, fire energy, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. But you're being blessed Taurus, believe it or not, you've got the star coming through here. That is universal alignment. This is giving you the hope, perhaps, that you have lost. And typically it is Aquarius energy, but it could include the other air signs as well. So there we are again with Libra and Gemini, of course. A new romantic cycle begins. I'm telling you, you might end up meeting this Libra in the new year, Taurus. But you got to release what needs to be released. Toxic connections, bad relationships, karmic partnerships, people that are weighing you down, people that are keeping you stuck, people that have chained you down into a situation or relationship that you perhaps know you don't want to be in any longer. This is restoring peace back in your life, Taurus. This is focused on your well-being as well, and that healing energy. Because I feel you need this right now. You needed that star card to come through. There's a guardian angel that's watching out for you. And I feel for some of my Tauruses, you have more than one guardian angel watching out for you. Could be a family member. It could be a loved one who's passed on. It could be your best friend. It could be a parent. It could be a sibling. Someone's watching out for you. And I feel for my Tauruses, you've been in the dark long enough in 2019. Welcome in the enlightenment that this star card can bring in for you. And remember, we have that 9 of Cups that came through earlier. That is satisfaction and wish fulfillment. The star is a wish come true. What is it that you're wishing for, Taurus? You've got time. You've got time to make it happen. And that star card, as I've often said in my readings, it makes an impossible situation possible. Sometimes we don't realize that we can actually get out of a situation because we're so buried in our own thoughts of negativity and we don't see a way out. That's what's creating that stuck energy for you. Thinking that you don't have a way out, thinking that you are literally tied down to it or that you're chained to that circumstance. You're not. You really are not. It's not an impossible situation, Taurus. You just got to get up and find a different path away from anything and everyone that is weighing you down. Put that oxygen mask on and breathe. Save yourself first. You got to follow your gut, Taurus. It's so important, especially with that star card represented right there. Use your intuition. And I feel for some of my Tauruses, you forget to do that sometimes. What is it that you have by way of your goals, your desires? I can't help but feel that for some of you, you've held off from making it happen for so long. Either you didn't know how to make it happen, or you stopped yourself from making it happen, or you self-sabotaged, or you gave up. You can change that, you know. Part of that star card too is that your emotional needs are fulfilled. But perhaps you've allowed the wrong person into that heart of yours. And so they broke it, you know. Because some of you guys, I feel, especially my divine feminines, it hasn't been an easy road at all. But you can heal from that. You can recover from that. In regard to love and romance, the Star card certainly is indicative of two people who love each other. But sometimes, love is not enough. Two people who are toxic for each other can love each other. But if you know deep in your heart, Taurus, that that's not where you belong, then get yourself out of that stuck energy. You can actually get yourself unstuck. You can balance those scales. You can get rid of those chains. You can find happiness elsewhere. There is a new love that wants to come in for you. I feel it. Okay? So let's add to this with some romance angels. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Taurus. All right, Taurus, let's see. Let's see what else is coming up for you, or what you've dealt with in love and romance. Let's see. Because if that painful ending of the Ten of Swords hasn't happened already, I feel, Taurus, that it's inevitable, and so you can actually avoid it by getting yourself out of that situation before it even comes to that. Finances and career being represented here. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now, especially those who are overextending yourselves and you're struggling financially to make ends meet. Going back to what I said earlier, you're giving way too much to the point where you're tapped out. It's like you're giving this person your oxygen mask. They've got their own, but you're giving them yours as well. Trust is coming forward. The situation is calling for you to have faith. And sometimes when life is a little bit overwhelming, Taurus, it's very difficult to have trust and faith in a situation. Sometimes that trust has to start with you. You got to trust yourself to make better decisions. For those who are willing to start a different path, move in a different direction, allow this new romantic cycle to begin, and again, that is the new moon in Libra. We've got several references to Libra here, and earth signs as well, water signs, air signs. It's all represented here, but I do feel especially water, Pisces, and Libra is heavily represented in this reading. So just pay attention to how that is playing a part in your life. If you can remove yourself from connections and relationships that are no longer serving a purpose and allow this new love to come in for you, this is the potential of what this person could represent in your life. That person could be the one for you. And also for those who are in a relationship where perhaps there was a time when you thought they were your person. That's it. Your search is over. But the more time passed, the more you realized, okay, nope, this is not working. But you're still stuck. You're stuck with this person. But it's time to do a little bit of soul searching, Taurus, to really realize and figure out, is this really where you want to be? And if it isn't, you have the power to get out of that situation. You're not tied down. You're not chained to it. You're not stuck in the mud. You can get yourself out of that situation at any given time. All right. So let's add to this with some Fire Witch Tarot. Angels and spirit guides for Taurus, please. What else do we need to know at this time for Taurus for this bonus reading? For Taurus, all right, what do we have? Blocked and purify. Okay, so this is telling you, Taurus, that there are people in your life that you need to block. Okay, they no longer deserve to be a part of your life. This is a chapter of your life that you need to close out. You need to allow that cycle to phase out. They don't deserve to be in your life any longer. Purify. It's time for a little bit of purification and healing energy in your life, Taurus. It's time. And look at this next card. It's time to let go. It really is. And for those of you who are resonating with this reading, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You've held on long enough. It's not working. I know it hurts to let go. I get it. But you will find what's meant to be yours, and you will find happiness by letting go of situations, negative energy, past baggage, toxic situations, toxic connections, karmic partnerships. It's time to let it go. Strength. Perhaps you have forgotten how strong you are. You're a lot stronger than you realize, Taurus, and I think I've said this before in past readings too. You have the strength to break through those chains. You have the strength to get unstuck. You have the strength to heal your broken heart. You have the strength to lay down those burdens that don't belong to you. It is time, Taurus. Look at this. Access. A key. You got the power to lock that door. Okay? And if somebody has closed you in to where you feel you can't get out, you got the key. Somebody chained you down, you got the key to unlock those chains. You're feeling stuck, you got the key to turn that ignition on and floor it and get out of that stuck energy. You have got the key, Taurus. Use it. Because if you don't, this is the bottom of the deck. You're going to remain there, continue to be stressed out if you don't exercise your free will and your power to grab that oxygen mask and save yourself. That's what I'm picking up. Let's grab some healing messages, guys, to close this out. Angels and spirit guides for Taurus, please. Please bring forward some healing messages for my Tauruses for this bonus reading, please. Some final messages for Taurus for this bonus reading, please. Oh my God. I just got goosebumps. Okay. Whew. It's not an impossible situation, Taurus. Miracles are on your side. Remember, you've got a guardian angel watching out for you. And as I was just saying, you've got the power. You're a lot stronger than you realize. You've got the power to create change in your life. You've got the power to move mountains. You've got the power to get unstuck. You've got the power to change. You've got the power to create movement. Find happiness elsewhere. Walk away if you have to. Free yourself. Let go. It's time. It's time. I'm going to leave it right there, Taurus, because this is definitely trying to grab your attention. I hope it helps you. And I hope that you're able to welcome in truly a wonderful new year filled with blessings, filled with miracles, filled with all of your goals and dreams manifesting. That is what I wish for you. All right, guys, so that's where I'm going to leave it. And if you're interested in your own personal private reading from me, all of that information is down below in the description box. I love you guys. I wish you nothing but the best. I wish you the merriest of Christmases and the happiest of New Year's. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. Take care.